God, I gotta get used to this hellfire.
Is that smoke?
No, everything's fine.
The grass isn't going to cut itself.
I know, I'm on it. I'm in my own comic book. I'm a superhero, and I still have grass to cut. You know what? Go to mavenscomic.com right now and get your very own copy. I mean, as little as $8, and guess what? You can even be drawn into the comic with me. Well, evidently, I have chores to do.
What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, and let's get into it. All right, so we're on X, and this is the account of Zachary Levi. Zach Levi is, of course, he's been acting in Hollywood for a long time. He was in a show called Less Than Perfect, and then flash forward a few years, he was in Thor, and then he was in Thor Ragnarok, because he couldn't come back for Thor: The Dark World, so they brought another actor in. But then when they did Ragnarok, he was available. They had another actor play his part in Thor 2. But they brought him back. So he was in Thor 1 and Thor 3. He was also on a show called Chuck. He's out here. He's doing his thing. But Zachary Levi was someone who was a very vocal supporter of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as he was running for president of the United States. What was a couple months ago, RFK Jr. stepped down and decided to throw his support behind Donald J. Trump. And as of November the 5th, which was this past Tuesday, Donald J. Trump is the president-elect. Now, I had to pull this particular thing up because I was really upset, because I was just about to make the video, and what's on my screen now that I'm going to read is something that Zach sent out late last night. He's deleted this, but fortunately someone had quote tweeted it, so I searched Google and it hadn't fully deleted from there. But it was this and another response that he had actually had to Julie Plec. Julie Plec is someone in Hollywood that's got a lot of motion. She is the co-creator of the Vampire Diaries. She worked with Kevin Williamson on that show. I think she also worked on Dawson's Creek as a writer. Kevin Williamson, he's an openly gay man. He worked on Dawson's Creek. I know they were shooting in North Carolina. I know Vampire Diaries. I'm trying to remember. I think Vampire Diaries was shot in Georgia, but Dawson's Creek was shot in North Carolina. But yeah, I think Vampire Diaries was shot in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't shot in Hollywood, but they were both Warner Brothers shows. And Zach Levi worked on Chuck, and that was a Warner Brothers show. And him and Julie Plec were friends. But let me actually go here. This person, Madam Dodge. Hey, Zachary, what do you consider woke? I feel like that term is so overused by conservatives that it's become the equivalent to the left's usage of the word Nazi or racist, right? So Zach Levi comes in and says, to me, woke is indicative of any ideology that sacrifices logic, reason, rational thought, wisdom, knowledge, history, and facts on the altar of socio-political agendas. For example, when we as a society start to rationalize the idea that biological sex is somehow a subjective cultural construct and not a scientific fact, we are doing ourselves a great injustice. The inability for many people to define what a woman is means that we are collectively losing our grasp on reality. We cannot start redefining words. and their meanings simply to make a small portion of the population feel more validated in their subjective experience. We can and should love them and want the very best for their lives. They should have the freedom to live their adult lives however they see fit, so long as it's not infringing on the rights of others. But that should never include turning our backs on objective truth to do so. We can both love and support them and hold firm to what we know is fact. These concepts are not mutually exclusive. Now, I just mentioned that Julie Plec, like I said, had been a writer on like Dawson's Creek. She is a frequent collaborator of Kevin Williamson, the creator of Dawson's Creek. She, they developed Vampire Diaries together. She also worked on what was the movie? They renamed it to Teaching Miss. It was called Killing Mrs. Tingle, and then the Columbine shootings happened. And they decided before it was released to rename the movie Teaching Mrs. Tingle, and it had Katie Holmes in it, who of course worked on Dawson's Creek. Julie Plec was a writer on that, and then like I said, Kevin Williamson is very close to Julie Plec, and is very instrumental in her career. And I know she had the Vampire Academy, that's a television show that's on Peacock. She was like executive producer on that. She loves writing like vampire stuff. So she's got a couple of shows. Julie Plec is somebody that is still very prominent in Hollywood. She gets a lot of jobs and opportunities and stuff. She can really affect your career. She's not, a lot of people that have been upset that Zach Levi, once RFK Jr. decided to support Donald Trump, since Zachary Levi was supporting RFK, he of course endorsed Donald Trump and voted for Donald Trump, and obviously Donald Trump won. So Julie Plec actually commented on this, and like I said, this is gone now. If you go on Zachary Levi's account, it has been removed. I went on Julie Plec's account as well, and since like I said, he's deleted all this. Fortunately, someone quote tweeted it, so I was able to go in and as you can see, this got a lot of response. It got, there are people you see it's gotten bookmarked almost 1,400 times. This 5.3 million views. A lot of people were triggered by this. And you see a lot of people going, what do you mean redefine speech and all this kind of nonsense, right? Julie Plec was one of those people that weighed in, and she seemed to particularly have an issue with this part in the final paragraph where he said, we cannot start redefining words. And this is where a lot of liberals keep getting into trouble with this whole what is a woman thing. And I was like, you even had we have a justice on the Supreme Court. What was it? Ketanji Brown, I can't remember her whole name, but the woman that Joe Biden put on, Ketanji Brown Carter, whatever the name is. And she was asked when she was going through her confirmations, what is a woman? And that clip is always shared on X because it's so absurd. And she dodged the question. She didn't want to come out and go, hey, you can either be a male or female, gender isn't fluid. She didn't want to say that. And I know me saying that is going to trigger certain people because apparently if you say stuff like that, it's bad. But I do believe in biologically defined sex. If you are trans, I don't have an issue with you, but I do think there are two sexes, male and female. And I've seen some forms where they have like 40 something different or 26 different genders and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, it gets ridiculous. Obviously, with Trump coming back into office, a lot of that stuff is going to get phased out. He's talking about doing executive orders, especially when we're talking about biologically male female athlete or male athletes competing against females and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that's been going on over the last 4 years is about to be over, which is why so many people are freaking out. And Julie Plec, I went on her timeline. I don't follow her, but I went on after she had the exchange with Zach. Again, this has been deleted, but like I said, I'm glad that person quote tweeted it. This will probably phase out in the next few hours since he did go and delete it. But I thought he gave a really good answer here. Julie Plec weighed in on it. I wish I had the screenshots of that, but like I said, I wasn't able to start recording before I think he realized that it was getting a lot more attention than he intended. I thought reading this answer, I thought it was very thought out. He didn't just say some crazy stuff. And people are like, oh, you're a washed up actor. Nobody ever cared about anything you've been in, whatever, your career's done. And matter of fact, Zachary Levi was on, he was on with Megyn Kelly right before the election. I think it was a day or two before the election. And, he talked about, people are threatening his career, but he said he'd also had some Hollywood producers reach out to him privately and tell him, it's like, hey, man, I enjoyed working with you. I will always have jobs for you. Don't worry about not getting work from me. But one thing if you go back and go on Megyn Kelly's YouTube channel and watch that interview with Zach Levi, because one thing he said, he was like, hey, if you're a conservative, stop hiding, come out. I think that's what I'd like to see there, because he's saying there are a lot of Hollywood conservatives that are afraid to speak out because they won't get work. And like I said, the whole part about we can't start redefining words, like I said, that appeared to trigger Julie Plec, and she said something like, says you can't start redefining words and redefine them. And then he quote tweeted her again. I again wish I had it, but like I said, he has deleted the whole thing. And I managed to read it, but when I was about to start recording, everything got deleted. Like I said, the only reason I have this particular part of it is because someone had quote tweeted it and it hadn't been phased out yet. But he's deleted this. He deleted this in his response to Julie Plec, where he was basically going, Julie, you've known me. We've been friends for years. He's basically telling her, that I'm not a bigot. I'm for inclusion of everybody and all this kind of stuff. We just disagree on this part. And, there are a lot of people like me that disagree on, so he's basically just letting her know, hey, you actually personally know me. We're friends. And maybe they actually got on the phone and talked, because you should not try to hash out stuff like this on X, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. If you actually know somebody, because like I'll post something and somebody will have a comment on it or whatever, but the vast majority of those people are not people that I actually know in real life, someone that has my cell phone number that can text me or call me or whatever. So, he gave a really good response to Julie Plec, which I loved, and I wish I had started recording before he deleted all this. But let me actually go on his profile, because he, like I said, when you actually, this is within the last hour. He is, like I said, he had just maybe 35, 40 minutes ago before I started recording. I was like, oh, that's going to be a good topic. But like I said, you're going down. Notice that the response that I just showed you, this is that response is gone. So, with that person asking him to describe to define what he considered woke. But like I said, Julie Plec, as a matter of fact, let me go on her profile, because it's gone as well. But since she was responding to his thread, it goes away. But she had, she's been spurging out because Trump won. She's liberal. She's super liberal. And Yeah, here it is. Dear world, don't look at us. We can't explain this effing bullshit. It's sane America. And well, I would say to Julie, Trump very handily defeated Kamala Harris. It wasn't, normally when a conservative candidate wins, it's like, oh, they just won because of the electoral college. They didn't win the popular vote. So when you had Bush versus Gore, Bush won the electoral college, but lost the popular vote. But then 4 years later, he ran for re-election against John Kerry. He won the popular vote. He won the electoral college. And then you had, you flash forward to Donald Trump beating Hillary Clinton in 2016. Trump won the electoral college, but Hillary Clinton got like almost 3.5, 4 million more votes than Donald Trump. So they was like, oh, he just won the electoral college. He's not legitimate. He didn't win the popular vote. Obviously, against Kamala Harris, Trump won not only the popular vote, but he handily won the electoral college. It wasn't even close. It wasn't like it was a squeaker. He got 312 electoral college votes, and he got almost 5 million more votes than Kamala Harris. So this isn't, he didn't just squeak it out. Over half the country voted for Donald J. Trump to become the 47th president. So he had, and not only that, he's got the Senate and the House of Representatives as well. So it is what it is. On January 20th, he's going to get sworn in. But she's retweeting all this weird stuff. But her response is going again because Zachary Levi decided, you know what, maybe this is getting a little heated. As I showed you, his original tweet in response to that other person had over 5 million views on it. It was a very heated thread because, how can you say this about trans people, blah, blah, blah. And you just heard what I said. He didn't disparage anybody. He just had a difference of opinion, which I actually agreed with, and I thought it was very reasoned. But like I said, I'm a big fan of the Vampire Diaries. I think Julie Plec is talented, but she's also she's one of these people that are like, hey, I'm an ally. And, she's very close to Kevin Williamson, the co-creator of, the creator of Dawson's Creek. He co-created Vampire Diaries with her. And, he's openly gay and, really good friends with Julie. So, but yeah, like I said, this thing is going on. Donald Trump has not even been the president-elect for a full 7 days yet, and apparently America has destroyed itself already. But like I said, Julie Plec is talented, but most of the people, the so-called actors or whatever that have taken shots, I've seen there's been articles about Zachary Levi talking about, oh, he only joined the alt-right or whatever because he thought Shazam was going to be a big career move for him, and the movies didn't propel his career any further. So then he decided to join the alt-right. And Zachary Levi hasn't joined the alt-right. He's just someone that's a person of faith, and he's conservative, but before this, he was keeping his personal views secret because, as he said, and other conservatives that have spoken out have said, when you tell Hollywood, hey, I don't necessarily agree with that, they stop hiring you. As I've seen several people's like, just make sure that Zachary Levi never works again. And mention again about him telling Megyn Kelly that certain people have reached out to him privately and said that they like his work and they're still willing to hire him. But those same people that told him that, they won't come out and publicly say so. And I think that's important. I know Zachary Levi actually said on Megyn Kelly, he was like, hey, if you're conservative, come out, stop hiding, come out and let people know what you really believe. And I agree with Zachary Levi there. But this whole thing, either way, I thought that this exchange was really good. I wish I had started recording before Zach was like, you know what? Maybe let me text Julie, let me call her or whatever, and let us talk since we actually are friends. Because like I said, something, whatever happened, if he spoke to her or whatever, he decided this is getting too heated and he deleted it. But I am thankful that that person quote tweeted him, and I was able to get it before it gets wiped out of the system because it's not there anymore. But as you saw, I was able to get at least half of the conversation. But I thought this was a good exchange. What do you guys think? Get in the comments. Let me know. Facebook, Instagram. I'm on X. I'm on Threads. All at Ikari Press. If you type in mavenscomic.com, it will take you to my comic book, Maven, which stars former WWE superstar Maven Huffman. I've got the link to that in my Gumroad in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.